Hello everybody. So I'm just going to show you an idea of what you do with what we class as the vinegar for making kombucha. So it's when your kombucha has gone a little bit too sour, too tart, right? So you can actually smell it on it. It's quite vinegary. Now this was made with a mixed berry tea, and I took out the original SCOBY that was in there, and I just left this with a cloth over it to do its to go further than I would drink it as kombucha. So I don't know if you can see, but in here there is actually floating a SCOBY, what we call the mother, right? See there? It started to develop as you leave it, okay? And in a closed bottle here with second fermentation fruit in it, you can just see, you might think, oh my God, it's developed a skin on it and it's gone off, but that's actually another mother developing. So it's a bit globby. So I have a tendency, even when I'm pouring out second ferment kombucha, that I would use a strainer. Well, one, that the fruit doesn't fall into the glass, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you want to keep it in your bottle, but also that the mother starts to develop, and they can be teeny tiny little globs, and you might taste it and go, oh, I swallowed something. Like, I think they taste like oysters. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not terribly palatable. It won't do you any harm. In moderation, of course. So the thing about using the vinegar, so one thing you can use it for certainly is you can decant it, and we would use it to help clean our windows. I would use it, I would keep the vinegar and use it for dressing. So here's one, as Delia Smith would say, I made earlier. So these are some of the herbs that I picked back in week 1, and I included a bit of rosemary. So there's nettle, cleavers, there's wild garlic, there's blackberry, a little bit of hawthorn, and I chopped them up and I just poured over my vinegary or gone too far kombucha. Okay, and you keep it in the cupboard with the lid on. And this is vinegar, so that it doesn't matter, because you're not really developing this as the SCOBY, so it doesn't matter if it touches off the metal. So you can shake this around just to make sure that they're submerged all the time, or you can begin to take out the herb as you go further down the bottle. So this was originally full, and I have used some of this already to make some salad dressing. For anybody that has never made salad dressing, it's usually 2/3, 3/4 of oil and 1/4 of vinegar. It depends on how tart you like it or whatever. So this is something I have done with my kombucha over the years, and it was one of these recipes that came up in that booklet that I showed. But this is the other thing you can do with this, actually, and it's something that I really like, is when I make homemade coleslaw, instead of putting loads of mayonnaise on it, I use a little bit of mayonnaise and I pour on some of my kombucha vinegar. So another idea of what you can do with the vinegar actually is make what they call digestive tonics. So today I cut up a pineapple. So you come to the fruit I'm going to use actually in a smoothie. I think there's 5. There's blueberries, apple, pineapple, grapes, and orange juice in there. Oh, and I put in some of my gorse cordial. Shh, don't tell anybody. So I was cutting up a pineapple, and you'd be left with the heart, okay, which is the hard bit of the centre. And usually, a lot of us, we'd chuck it out, right? But you can make a digestive tonic using this. Pineapple is a great thing for your digestion to eat probably 10 to 15 minutes before you actually eat. It's not one to try, though, if you've got any mouth sores or cuts or anything like that, because it's very, very strong and stingy on them. But to take as a digestive tonic, and using your kombucha vinegar, which has a mother in it, okay? So it must have developed a mother. It must be gone on to another stage than just be gone beyond drinkable. So you're going to take your pineapple heart, and with your lovely clean hands, put into a clean jar. Okay, so I chopped this up earlier on, and then after I've made this, now I'm going to drink my smoothie. I like to drink it fresh from the NutriBullet. So what I'm going to do then is just literally pour on the vinegar with the mother. I'm going to leave the mother out, so I'm going to use my trusty I can't think of the term. Strainer. Jeez, I had a momentary lapse there. So I'm just going to pour this over, and actually this will have a nice taste to it, because this was a mixed berry tea. So That's the simplicity of it. So there's lots of different herbs and different things you can make with this. So this must be left probably 3 to 6 weeks. The softer fruit usually takes less time. Harder things like, say, cinnamon or clove, something like that, if you were using them with the vinegar, would take longer for that to ferment and break down within it. So they say things like this are very helpful to take, obviously, for your digestion, but obviously by your digestion it helps your immune system, because as I was saying before, there's about 80%, or they believe now that 80% of our immune system exists in our guts. So these kind of things help your histamine levels. And for those of you that suffer perhaps with seasonal allergies like hay fever, I'm not saying that taking a spoonful of this now is going to cure it all. What I'm saying is that it boosts your immune system and it helps your body to be able to fight it. So you might find that over a period of time, that would make a difference. And it actually tastes quite nice. Now, I may use this as a digestive tonic, and if I do, I would take a tablespoon of that. In about 3 weeks, I'll try it. I'll take a tablespoon of this and I mix it with water and drink it that way, because it's vinegary. So don't forget, it's got quite a strong acidic kind of flavour. But I could also take this and add it into my dressing, which would be lovely, a pineapple variation. Now you can make this, as I said, with leftover kombucha that's gone too sour, but you can also use it with apple cider vinegar. So apple cider vinegar is, again, one of those that has a mother in it, and it's it's exactly the same process. So if you don't have kombucha that's gone a step too far. So just in case, you just don't forget that the mother starts to redevelop on the top of this. So it's not gone off. It might look like something is developing, or it's forming a skin. You just can take it either off, or you can just strain it as you go. Okay. So I hope that's of some use to somebody. What I'll do is I'll put up a list of other ideas that you can put into the vinegar, beyond mixed herbs, and individual ones that help with various things, and things that hopefully they're relatively easy to come by. And another thing I'm going to do is show you a fire cider recipe, but I'm just waiting on my horseradish root to arrive. It's not the easiest thing to come by, but you can make this recipe without it. But I just like, if I'm going to make it, I've a lady who provides me with veg. She has horseradish, but I won't be getting it for another couple of days. So yeah, it's just another thing you can do with your vinegar that you've made from your kombucha that you might think, oh, I have to chuck it out. At the very least, you'll have clean windows, or you could have clean drains. And I've used it for both. Okay, thanks for being here. Bye.